welcome to episode 7 of What's Up, Castleberry. There is something in what I just said that made Drew laugh.
And now, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like the game show entrance. Maybe we should have different introductions for different themes. That was the game show. Welcome to episode 7 of What's Up, Castleberry. We are delighted that you're listening to the podcast. Drew and I are both Castleberry residents, local pastors who love our city. We're for Castleberry. We want to talk about Castleberry. And all of our guests are involved with Castleberry. So this is your local community-run podcast. Drew, it's good to see you. It's good to be with you again. What's been going on in your life? How's things?
Yeah, Andy, thanks. Things are going great. I am super energized by your introduction. Life is good here in Central Florida, as it always is. It's a beautiful day outside. The weather, we always feel like we talk about the weather here. It's very up and down. Today was a bit chilly going outside today, but enjoyed a morning walk and just a nice time of refreshment. This taping will be coming out in the middle of March, but it's the very end of February here. And I'm actually going on vacation for a couple of days. So,
nice. Well, what are you up to?
Headed down with my family to the Keys. So hoping to catch some fish, catch some sunshine, and just enjoy a couple of days of relaxation.
That sounds fantastic. Mm-hmm. I think we're all a little bit jealous about that. All right, well, let's get on with the show. So our next section is what we call Castleberry in the News. In this section, we'll take a story about what's been going on in Castleberry and we'll discuss it. Our sources for this are the grapevines that we're a part of, unofficially, and Google Alerts, and also just some other things that we hear from time to time. Drew, you have some news to share with us today, and again, it's a little unconventional, and it's about dogs.
Yeah, Andy, we were throwing around some different ideas about what to discuss Castleberry in the News, and I just couldn't help but feel like dogs are a newsworthy topic.
Okay.
Very recently, we had the Mardi Gras event at Lake Concord in Castleberry, and one of the components of that event to celebrate Mardi Gras was the Mardi Paws Parade, where there was a dog parade locally. I didn't attend, but I saw some
dogs
pictures.
Wearing beads? Or
I think they were wearing like little custom-made doggy outfits to celebrate the time of year. But it feels like everywhere we go, there are just people that walk their dogs, love their dogs, all about dogs. And I can speak from personal experience. I grew up, did not own a pet, kind of lived in a more rural, remote area, and never really had an interest in owning a pet for myself. However, when I found and started dating the woman who eventually would be my wife, she had a rescue dog. And our dog Holly is a little West Highland Terrier. We'll get the picture of Holly on the social media page there, but I fell in love, and now I have an appreciation and understand just the hype for owning a pet. There really is something wonderful about coming in after a day of labor and the dog is there, ready to greet you, give you a lick, just enjoy your company.
Sounds lovely.
Andy, I know.
I'll come home. Here's a lick.
You all do not own a pet, correct?
No, we
do not have a pet.
We don't. No, not
Okay.
pet people for a number of reasons. We did buy the kids a hamster once, but it was so disruptive overnight. I took it back overnight the next morning, and broke my kids' hearts, but it meant we got some sleep. So that was a good trade for me.
Well, one of the local newsworthy events in regards to dogs is
there is a point.
Yes, there is a new animal rescue shelter, and the acronym for the shelter is ADORE. It's Animals Deserving of Rescue Everywhere. And Brooke Absher, a former teacher at Castleberry Elementary School, a friend of Andy and I's, runs that shelter in Seminole County. And again, the name is Adore. So we'd love you to check that out. And of course, if you're looking for a pet, if you're looking to help an animal in need, why not consider adopting or a rescue?
That is a great invitation to everybody except my children, who I know will listen to this and say, kids, we're we're not in the market for a dog right now. So everybody else, check out Adore and go rescue a dog.
But Andy, you wanted to mention quickly the service dog connection that you had at your
I got
church,
a dear friend, Paul Bertram, who is a military vet, served in Vietnam, and has really led an accomplished life. But from his time in Vietnam, he experienced some traumatic events that created some PTSD in him. And last year, he was awarded a service dog who has been trained for about 2 years at a significant cost. And this dog is one of the most beautiful animals I've ever seen, and it's so attentive to him. And it's fascinating to see how his relationship with his dog is healing his PTSD and just enhancing his life in some incredible ways. So, I know I'm not a big dog fan, but I got to tell you, Walker is a dog that I'm falling in love with a little bit.
All right, Andy, let's transition now and take a moment to answer a question that one of our listeners has submitted to us. If you have a question or comment for the What's Up Castleberry podcast, we want to hear from you. We've got a couple of different platforms in which you can share or submit a question. You can do so on our Facebook page, our Instagram page, or our podcast feed, all with the title What's Up Castleberry. Today's question is in the form of this. Actually, I will be honest, it comes from me because, and the reason being, we record these podcast episodes a couple of weeks before they are submitted. And this particular podcast is going to come live and in your ears on St. Patrick's Day. And so, Andy, what are, if any, some of your St. Patrick's Day traditions? And perhaps this is a bigger discussion. What's your favorite holiday?
Wow, 2 questions. So let's start with the St. Patrick's Day one. Growing up in England, we never really celebrated St. Patrick's Day as we do over here in the US. And I remember being amazed at how much attention there was. Now, honestly, I think a lot of people revere and honor St. Patrick because of green beer. And it's an excuse to drink and party and wear green and pinch one another if they're not wearing green and all that kind of stuff. So my first introduction to St. Patrick was not because of those cultural expressions, but was because of who St. Patrick was and what an amazing man he was, who fought for justice and promoted faith and lots of very valuable things in Ireland all those years ago.
Thank you for trying to redeem this important
What's your
holiday.
favorite thing about St. Patrick's Day? Green beer?
Well, I agree. Growing up in the States as a child, it really became about wearing green, being festive. I am not Irish by heritage, but everyone I knew would wear green and pinch each other, as you said. If not, usually it turned into just a sort of a brawl, and the teachers would have to step in because people would try to, use it as an excuse to be kind of rough and gruff with each other. There is the sense in which there's a celebration of consuming maybe an adult beverage of your fancy. For me personally, though, I love this time of year because I am a big college basketball fan. And St. Patrick's Day and the week after always symbolize the start of March Madness, the college basketball tournament. And so I just love this time of year. It's beautiful outside. There's new plants and flowers, etc. But it's just an acknowledgement of my favorite time of year for sport and activity and being outside.
Well, that sports tie-in is a great setup for the interview that we're going to have soon with a leader in local sports, Roy Bova, as well. But your second question was, what's my favorite holiday? We probably don't want to spend too much time on this, but I'm a big Christmas fan. I love everything about it. I love the message. I love the giving of gifts. I love the celebrations and the songs, and Christmas would rate as number one. And my second favorite holiday is probably Robin's birthday. Robin is one of our producers, our admin here, and she's sitting across embarrassed right now.
She's smiling though. She appreciates the prop.
That's right. I think we should take every opportunity to celebrate Robin.
Absolutely. Andy, great comments there. Love Christmas as well. Thanksgiving, just simply because I enjoy a good meal.
Right. So this is what we've learned about you from this section. You like eating and drinking.
Yes, that pretty much rounds me out as a person. Let's hang out sometime, Castleberry. Well, that's been our question. We appreciate, I guess, the fact that I wrote that question. Yes. I don't know, but
thank you to Mr. Drew Taylor who submitted that question.
We want to hear from you on Facebook, Instagram, or our podcast feed. Give us a question for us to discuss. Give us better questions on the air. And now a word from our sponsor, Platinum Signs. We would love to connect with potential partnership sponsor opportunities here in the community. Platinum Signs has been with us since really near the beginning of our podcast. We're very thankful for Platinum Signs. They are a premier business specializing in high quality signs.
They're in the business.
They're in the business. I love it. This is from their website. They produce high quality signs, printing, promotional products. They work closely with all their clients and take projects from concept to completion, no matter the size. Our good friend Yesha Patel and her husband Jay have owned and operated Platinum Signs since 2006. Their location is in Castleberry, right behind the Target there on 1792. And they also owned and opened a second location in Oviedo. So if you have any kind of design, logo, branding for us at the What's Up Castleberry podcast, we have this beautiful 8-foot step and repeat banner behind us. Check out Platinum Signs. Thank you for your sponsorship, Platinum Signs.
All right, welcome back. We are super excited today to have our guest, Roy Bova, the founder and CEO of Class Athlete. When my kids were younger, I spent almost every Saturday for many years under this guy and his organization that is just changing the lives of thousands of kids in our region. My kids played soccer and basketball with Roy, and Roy's influence and his legacy and the impact of his organization is huge in our local community. So we're excited to have Roy with us. Welcome, Roy.
Yeah, welcome, Roy.
Thank you. Great to be here.
I wish we had a camera so everyone could see how sharp you look in your Class Athlete polo.
It's all about branding.
But I mean, I've heard you got a face for radio anyway, so
yes, very true.
I was thinking
My wife tells me that.
We need a little background, the fans cheering, because it's a sports episode today. So, wow, yeah, wow.
That's funny.
Or yelling.
Or yelling, yeah. We've all met those parents, right? So, Roy, we're delighted you're here. Tell us a little bit about you, who you are, a little bit of your story, and particularly how you and why you started Class Athlete, because that's such a great purpose behind it.
So this is probably the 250th time I've told this story. So it's pretty easy. I've actually been a coach for 25 years.
Which is amazing because you look so young.
So I coached in many city leagues. I ran many adult programs when I worked at the Orlando Sentinel for 22 years. And my daughter went to Redbug. She's now graduated from Lake Howell High School. Mm-hmm. One step of her life complete. And during my coaching days and looking at the way the after-school program was run at Redbug, I had a thought that I'd like to do this. I would like to run and provide programs that do summer camps, after-school programs, and the youth leagues, mainly because I wanted to be a positive role model and make sure kids understood the importance of the class before the athlete. Our name is Class Athlete. So character grades come first. We're, in essence, building good people. We're not building professional athletes, although I would like that, but we're really building professional people. And 12 years later, and
12 years.
Yeah, probably 10 to 15,000 kids have played in our programs, and we just continue to grow.
That's amazing.
That is
amazing.
So as we think about this, as one of the pastors here in the area, all of our kids, I was telling Andy before, it feels like have come through, if they're sports inclined at all, they come through your program. What would you say is the primary, like 2 or 3 things that as a student enters into Class Athlete and participates in a sport, what do you want to see from them as they exit, either a year later, several years later?
I believe our job is to make sure that they become better individually in the sport and in life skills and collectively as a team. And that's my discussion with all of our coaches who are volunteers. And that's my discussion with all the teams that I coach. We've grown from myself to 35 employees.
Wow.
And we have we like to say weekly, but they're probably monthly meetings to have the same discussion. Ultimately, we want to pass the kids on to the next group that they're going to and make sure they're better at life.
Yeah, that's a worthy and noble goal, and something that's so needed in our society today. So, Roy, tell us a little bit about the whole scope of Class Athlete. You have, your leagues, but there's so much more to what you do than just the stuff on Saturday mornings. Tell us the scope of Class Athlete.
So youth leagues, we do soccer, basketball, flag football, cheerleading. We also do summer camps, spring break camps, Thanksgiving camps, Christmas camps, and an after-school program, which has now flourished to be at 2 different locations.
All within Seminole County?
All within Seminole County. We are currently leasing facilities at Living Hope Church, Fellowship Church, Church at 434. We've worked with Willow Creek in the past, South Seminole Academy, Lake Howell High School, and Redbug Lake Park. So I've got 7 relationships that I manage. Being part of a community, that's income and revenue that those organizations have because of what we do. So kind of helping grow revenue in the community and helping, hundreds and thousands of kids it's a great thing.
Yeah, it's just amazing, the scope of, would you have thought all those years ago what a thing this would become?
So my favorite story is when we decided to do this. So Castleberry, the city of Castleberry was eliminating their sports program. So I found an opportunity to at least start the sports. Yeah. I came up with our logo with the help of a good friend of mine, Albert Edwards, and a great graphic artist.
Yeah.
So we went out to Redbug. We did our first day of registration. He and I sat there for 4 hours, came home, told my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, we have 1 registration. And she was like, okay, so are you going to continue on? And I go, that just makes me want to do it that much more.
Right.
So I kind of harassed people in grocery lines and at the deli and through the community. I saw a group of kids playing flag football and approached them early on. So our first season had 59 flag football players and 6 cheerleaders, which was my daughter and her 5 friends. And I coached pretty much me and one other gentleman coached most of the teams.
Yeah. What have been some of the challenges, Roy, as the organization has grown? Both in terms of kind of scalability and management, but also you started off with this clear vision to be classy. But as you get bigger and bigger, it would be easy to lose that. But I know that being classy and helping the students to grow in who they are as people is still happening on a grander scale. What are some of the challenges that you face to maintain that?
I think our biggest challenge is making sure our whole audience, which includes referees, coaches, parents, and players, understand what we're trying to do here. And that's basically be a good person, first and foremost, and managing the expectations of thousands of parents is probably the biggest challenge.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. I mean, we're all competitive. Everyone likes to win, but at the end of the day, they're not going to get a scholarship from my league. Mm-hmm. They're not going to get a World Cup trophy. We just want to make sure we keep perspective that it's a sport, it's a game, and, let's do the right thing by our kids. Because ultimately, the kids are going to look up to the parents, coaches, referees, and if they're acting out of line, that's when the kids do.
Yeah, and there's so much that a person learns about interpersonal relationships from team sports and things like that.
Well, and you've coached in my league for many years, and thank you. I tried to.
I don't think I ever won a trophy. But I would say
maybe cheerleading, Andy. Maybe that's your next sport to pursue.
But I would say your post-game discussions, and you would probably agree with me. I think children learn a lot more losing.
That's right.
But you didn't lose a lot. You won a lot too.
I help people lose. Then I'll help them through it.
But I think that's your best opportunity as a coach to explain. Sometimes things don't go your way in life. Sometimes we disagree with the ref calls, but they're the authority on the field, and just explaining, how to get through that, I think, are your best learning opportunities.
Well, can I say that I learned a lot about myself as a coach in class athlete as well. I'm pretty competitive by nature, very serious about my sport, which has caused problems over the years. But there were times when we would be coaching and maybe my team weren't doing what I wanted, and I wanted to get frustrated. I wanted to get angry, but I had to remind myself, hey, this isn't about me and my need to win. This is about developing these young people. And so there was something that really happened in me positive as I was a coach as well.
Right.
Roy, so you mentioned a few minutes ago talking about parents and all the ways in which parents are coming into your life, either as a coach, watching their own child play. What to alleviate maybe some of the concerns or doubts that parents have when, hey, I don't hear from the director immediately. What are some of what does a week look like for Roy Bova in terms of communication, and just tell us a little bit about how you function and operate as the CEO. I think it'd be helpful for the parents listening out there.
So there are no off days. As much as I would like to think there aren't. When I started the company, I used my cell phone, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because people can reach me pretty quickly. It is becoming harder and harder to call people back.
Yeah.
So I'm asking people to text me. We are in the process of trying to create a policy where we have a 24 or 48 hour window to get back in touch with you, because in everyday life you don't want to talk to the person when they're hot. You want to let them calm down, cool down, reassess what happened, and then have a nice polite conversation. And I've told all my coaches, I don't mind you having a conversation with the referee, but it's a polite conversation. We all see things differently on the playing field, and unfortunately your referee is the law, the law of the game. But I do mostly, I wake up, I check my email first thing in the morning, and then I'm on my phone pretty much throughout the day. Not when driving, though.
Good.
Yeah. And I try to shut off, lately I'm trying to shut off at around 7 o'clock, at least from communicating to parents and those that have questions, because obviously I have a family. I'd like some family time.
Sure.
And I'd never check email before bed, because it could be that one email that's parent frustrated with things, and then you don't sleep.
Keeps you up all night. Yeah, sure.
Right, that's one of the things I've always admired about you, that your organization is called Class Athlete, but that you discipline yourself to maintain your character and your class in the midst of it. And I think I've been one of those coaches that you've needed to speak to calm down. And I'm sure after 12 years of doing this, you could probably sit around the United Nations and create peace on a much bigger level because of the skills you've had to learn through doing this.
Well, and that's the thing, too. You have all walks of life in your organization. And everyone's grown up differently, lived in different places, been taught different things. So you have to figure out how to maintain those relationships and conversations with several different people. But I think over time, 12 years, you learn to kind of deal with almost every situation.
Yeah.
And hopefully you get better.
One of the things that I appreciate about your program as well, Roy, is that it's accessible to so many people. I'm a big sports fan and involved in the professional sports world a little bit. And one of the continual challenges is the whole pay-to-play attitude that exists in our country, right? So a lot of our elite athletes only do so because they have an economic advantage. But your programs are so accessible, and you've got a price point that covers your costs and is also reasonable for parents as well. Talk about that a little bit, please.
So when we came up with our pricing structure, we wanted to make it available to almost anyone. So I think we're at the bottom point of the pricing structure in the space that we're in, which is recreational youth sports.
Yeah.
We also try to give as many discounts as possible because we believe in character and grades. We give a 3.0 discount. If your child maintains a 3.0, you get a discount. We do sibling discounts. We do returning player discounts, meaning if you played for us once and left and came back in 3 years, we know that, so we give you a discount. We do incent our coaches with a small discount for coaching. But yeah, it's one of these and then we have a scholarship program. I don't believe a child should ever not be able to play a sport because they can't afford it.
Love that.
Most of that probably comes from us, but we do get some folks that donate to it. On occasion, we'll do a golf tournament or something to raise money. We do have sponsors that donate in as well. So yeah, I think the price point, making sure you mentioned the pay to play. We have a 50% playtime rule. Mm-hmm. So during the regular season, every child is supposed to play at least 50% of the game. There is the element of competition as well. So when we get toward the playoffs, that lessens. Mm-hmm. It's you play as you've performed and practiced and learned. But that's why everyone in our league also makes the playoffs, because the regular season's about learning and growth.
Sure. Love it. I love it. It's a great combination.
Of all the sports, Roy, that you are participating in, coaching, a part of, overseeing, what would you, do you have a favorite? Is there something that really stands out as like, I love this season or this age group maybe?
Well, I'll speak to age group first. Uh-huh. Age group, the most fun age group to coach is the under 5 soccer division. That's just trying to get kids to run the way.
It's like a magnet ball, right?
It's so fun. And just you see, that's the first time you see the first goal. Your first goal, the smile on the face. And all the coaches do a great job. If there's a child that isn't running a lot and really not into it, we'll kind of open the goal up and let that kid score and count it as a goal. So that's the most fun age group. And there's no expectations, so the parents are all happy to be out there. My most fun sport, sorry, Andy, is American football.
Is that the football?
The real football.
Yes,
I'm always confused about that. You call it football, but you use your hands.
Yeah, handball. The reason I'm not a soccer guy or a football
guy.
All right,
we got to stop the pod right
now. But I've had to coach soccer, and I've learned the game, and I really enjoy the game. But as a coach, you want to be able to have an impact, and I think in soccer, because it's free flowing, you have less of an impact during the game. You probably have you do have more of an impact at practices. Whereas in football, you call a play, doesn't work, you get the chance to call another play. So that for me, I really enjoy, and I've been a football fan since '78. So.
Nice. The Steelers, I believe, right?
Steelers, yes. I try to work that into any conversations I have.
Yeah. And now you've got a tradition, Roy, don't you? Isn't it every year you make the first Steelers game? Do I remember that?
I have been to 13 out of 14 Steelers home openers.
Okay.
Wow.
So, and I proposed to my wife at a Steelers game. We got married in Jacksonville on the beach before a Steelers game. We took the whole wedding party to the game the day after. So, it's...
You stealed her heart.
Yeah.
Terrible English, but a great pun.
Yeah.
So, Roy, as we wrap up, a couple of things. First of all, is there anything that you would like to tell our listeners about Class Athlete that we haven't covered already?
The main thing is we are here for any child that wants to play youth sports, regardless of income or how much money you make. We want your children, and we will help you get your child playing. We do care about the community, which I haven't even touched on. We donate turkeys at Thanksgiving. We sponsor families at Christmas. We donate to several charities. We donate to schools' yearbooks and such.
Breast cancer
awareness. We actually helped 2 of our parents this past October. That was very, very rewarding for me. We also employ several high school and college students who have grown up in our leagues. Mm-hmm. So when Bethany is ready.
Yeah.
There you go.
She may have her first job now that she's driving.
That's right. She's going to need to get some money.
Yeah. But all in all, it's really about community. That's what I want people to understand with Class Athlete. I firmly believe it. I've been in this community for 26 years. Mm-hmm. So I'm really morphed into a Floridian versus a New Yorker. Yeah, I mean, we can be reached at roy@classathlete.com. Our website's www.classathlete.com, and we are also on Facebook, Class Athlete. We do have a Twitter and an Instagram, but not being used as much as I would like, so we're going to kind of get that going.
Okay.
Gotcha. And that was going to be my second question. How do people connect with you? And you've shared that. Roy, thank you so much for being a guest today. But as well, thank you for being such an important part of our community.
Yes.
Again, I got a personal investment in this, and my kids are better kids because they were involved in your program. And our community is a stronger community because of what you do. So sincerely, thank you very much for all that you do, for all that your team does. And thank you for bringing some class into our city. We appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate it. We don't get a lot of compliments, so I thank you for that. Our compliment is that people continue to sign back up. Mm-hmm. So I think we know what we're doing in the community, and we just want to continue growing.
Well said. That was our interview with Roy Bova from Class Athlete. Please sign up and participate in one of the leagues or come out to a game sometime. Thanks again, Roy.
Thank you.
What a great interview from Roy. I love the positive impact that he's making on our culture. He's making a difference in the lives of many young people and families, and we thank you, Roy. Time now for our closing section, and Drew is going to share with us an inspirational thought for the day.
Yes, thank you, Andy. And the word culture ties in very well to this particular quote that was originally formed by Andy Crouch. It's quoted in Bill Hufford's book, Against the Current, our local city commissioner. Here's the quote: "Culture is neither good nor bad. Culture is what we make of the world." And I think that's very significant and important. And for you, listener, culture is what you make of the world around you. Would you consider this week in your personal choices, in the way you interact with your family, at your job site, in the community, would you make particular choices to focus on how can I impact the culture for the good? How can I make a difference and leave a mark, leave a legacy for not only myself, but for the future generations to come? Just like Roy is with Class Athlete.
Thanks for that word, Drew. Friends, we hope you've enjoyed this episode of What's Up Castleberry and our podcast. This podcast is produced by James Bittner. The music is provided by Jeremy Birdsell, graphics by Christian Moscoso, and today's sponsor has been Platinum Science. For more information, please check out our Facebook page, Instagram feed, or podcast feed, all under the name of What's Up Castleberry. Like and subscribe to our podcast, and please rate us and review us. Until next time, we hope you have a fantastic week.
Yes, like and subscribe. What's up, Castleberry?